Good afternoon and welcome to Bobcat Update. This is our final edition for the spring semester, and we have a lot to share with you. I'm Ryan Liguez.
And I'm Abby Ray De La Rosa. We start today's newscast at the top. University President Denise Trauth will retire at the end of this academic year. Bobcat Update's Fabian de la Cerda had an opportunity recently to talk with President Trauth about her 2 decades of leadership at Texas State.
Dr. Trauth is the university's 9th president and the first woman to have the job. During the 20 years of her leadership, the university has made great strides.
We put out 3 big goals for the university. One was to become a Hispanic serving institution, and we did that. One was to become an emerging research university. We did that. And the third one was to become a member of the football bowl subdivision of Division I in the NCAA's classification.
Students at Texas State have recognized Dr. Trauth's work here at the university.
Definitely her impact kind of speaks for itself. Before she was president, we were at FBS 2 school. So she moved us to Division I, which allowed us to actually compete against some more local schools, actually gain more national recognition.
Personally, for me, it means a lot just because as a female student here on campus, knowing that she's the first female president really means a lot to me. It kind of makes me want to strive for that type of authority in leadership position.
She made Texas State a Hispanic serving institution, and that's really important to me because I am part of the Latino community.
Dr. Trauth says this semester will be her last as the university president.
Well, I hope that this university continues to be the community that it is. We're not just a collection of people here. We're not just a collection of buildings. It really is a group of people who care about each other and care about the institution. And I have every faith that that's going to continue because that's just it makes for a wonderful place to work and a wonderful place to go to school.
Dr. Kelly Damphis is the sole finalist to succeed Dr. Trauth as the new president of the university. Dr. Damphis has been meeting with students, staff, and faculty to introduce himself to the campus community. For Bobcat Update, I'm Fabian de la Cerda.
Another key member of Texas State's administration will also retire soon. Bobcat Updates and Award reports on Nancy Nussbaum's huge impact on campus.
Nussbaum is Associate Vice President for Finance and Support Services Planning. Among her responsibilities has been managing construction projects at Texas State and managing the university's master plan.
I oversee the campus master plan. I oversee construction funding, and I have discretionary allocations of funding that are given out to various people.
Nussbaum says major changes have occurred in the past 20 years, particularly in the style and scope of Texas State buildings.
We changed all of our architectural standards so that our buildings had more of the Spanish colonial emphasis, like the arches and the towers and the red clay tile roofs.
Nussbaum says she will enjoy spending extra time with her family during her retirement.
With me working full-time and even working more than 40 hours a week, I haven't been able to spend as much time and they live next door, so. But I also quilt, so that's another thing that I want to spend more time on.
She has worked at Texas State for 45 years and has been an Associate Vice President at the university for the past 3 decades. For Bobcat Update, I'm Anna Ward.
The School of Music at Texas State has received a donation of $1 million to help jumpstart its effort to construct a new music building. Bobcat Update's Amanda Geyer has more on the story.
The School of Music recently received the $1 million donation to help launch a quest to raise $40 million for a new building. The school's interim director says enrollment has grown significantly and far surpasses what the current building can handle.
Facilities matter. And they matter hugely because our current facility is the reconstructed gymnasium that was repurposed for the music building for about 300 music majors. We already have over 600 music majors.
School supports 30 music ensembles, a 350-member Bobcat marching band, and much more.
Gives our orchestra students the chance to work and perform in 21st century facilities, rehearsal space, practice rooms, and then that we would actually be next door to our Performing Arts Center.
School officials say when the new music building is completed, the faculty will be able to serve about 600 music majors and consolidate under one roof. For Bobcat Update, I'm Amanda Geyer.
Texas State's math department has been awarded a $500,000 career grant from the National Science Foundation. Bobcat Update's Marcus Lowe reports that the grant will provide opportunities to enhance the department's academic and research missions.
An assistant professor in the math department, Nestor Guillen, spearheaded the effort to land the prestigious NSF grant.
So what is special about the career grant is that it has funds both for education and training combined with research.
The 5-year grant will serve two purposes. The first is to hire more student research assistants.
Anyone who is an engineer, physics, maths, any STEM major is welcome, is ready to apply for this position. A lot of it will involve differential equations and computer programming, and that's one of the first big components over the next 5 years.
The other purpose is to expose students to professions not normally associated with math. The grant will be used to host talks with people who work in a wide variety of occupations.
They don't say we're hiring mathematicians in their job description, but when you see the activities that the engineers are doing, often they need the support of someone with a much more advanced mathematical background to work in coordination.
Guillen says he'd like to entice many more students to choose math as a major or minor and utilize this unique opportunity. For Bobcat Update, I'm Marcos Lowe.
The U.S. Department of Education has announced another extension for student loans. During the pandemic these past 2 years, several extensions have been permitted, and now the latest deadline of May 1st is also being pushed forward. That means all student loan payments, interest charges, and collections will be delayed to August 31st. That will give borrowers loan relief and reduce the risk of default. Through the Office of Financial Aid and Scholarship, Texas State provides financial advice to students to help them keep track of their loan payments. A makerspace is where ideas can become a reality. Bobcat Update's JP Ekpe tells us what's going on at Ingram Hall, where creativity abounds.
The Makerspace offers the latest in manufacturing and prototyping technology in a hands-on environment. This allows Texas State students, faculty, and staff to create whatever comes to mind.
It's a space that's open to any student or faculty, and it offers a chance to learn how to work with machinery and how to build basically anything that your mind comes to.
The Ingram Hall Makerspace is an 11,000 square foot facility comprising 4 different zones, including rapid prototyping, industrial, welding, and woodworking. The Makerspace has an assortment of tools for most any project.
I find myself here pretty much every day. I sit here, work on projects, do my homework. It's just a great group of people to be around, so helps out.
The Makerspace offers training modules and workshops to support students who want to learn how to use the equipment.
The Ingram Hall Makerspace is open Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. For Bobcat Update, I'm JP Ekpe.
Texas State has a program in the School of Journalism and Mass Communication that teaches students where media are headed. The Digital Media Innovation Program was created in 2016. Assistant Director of the Media Innovation Lab, John Smickley, says the program's main mission is to immerse students in the breadth of digital knowledge to prepare them for new and emerging media roles. Most of the classes are taught at Old Main on campus, but some include field work for students to learn drone technology. KTSW 89.9 is celebrating 30 years on the air. Bobcat Update Samantha Pennell takes a look at how the station has evolved.
In 1992, KTSW began broadcasting in San Marcos. Its studios and offices were for several years in Old Main, but the operation moved to the Trinity Building 6 years ago. KTSW's first general manager, the faculty member who was instrumental in obtaining the station's license and bringing it to life, was retired professor Bob Schrader.
The idea was to provide a learning laboratory for students who had an interest in broadcast journalism primarily.
Many students who have worked at KTSW say the experience helped guide them in their career choices and life in general.
Well, it taught me everything there is to know about radio, which I ended up getting a job in shortly after. So I guess it taught me the love of college music and the importance of it.
Though KTSW has a 30-year history, there are still many goals for the station to achieve.
I think we'll still continue to have radio as part of what we do here. on the air, online, however we're doing it, and however, the technology, or however it leads us in the next 30 years.
Station employees learn valuable skills and much more when they work at KTSW.
Just being able to be a part of something that's bigger than myself and being able to work with like-minded people has been huge for me.
The radio station encourages the campus community to get involved in the operation. KTSW's website has information on how students can be a part of it all.
Happy birthday, KTSW!
For Bobcat Update, I'm Samantha Pinnell.
Time now for a break. We have much more news ahead.
You're watching Bobcat Update. Thanks for staying with us.
Most Americans have. We must fight for the freedom all Americans deserve. Because all lives can't matter until Black lives matter.
How prepared is your family if a tornado shows up at your doorstep, or a flood, or a hurricane? You can't just turn away a natural disaster. That's why it's important to go to ready.gov/plan now. It has the tools and tips you need to make an emergency plan with your family. So if disaster comes knocking, let's go. You'll be ready to help keep your family safe.
It's just a pizza.
Yes. Make a plan today.
Billboards are going up in the San Marcos and Luling areas to bring awareness to a missing persons case involving a Texas State student named Jason Landry. Landry went missing in December 2020, and recently his family partnered with Bring Them Home Texas, which is an organization focused on reuniting missing children with their loved ones. Some of the billboards are located in Kyle, Sherrill, Converse, and McAllen. If you have any information regarding the case, please call 512-936-0742.
The Students Against Violence organization on campus hosts an event called Take Back the Night. The event encourages students to help end sexual violence and support survivors of assault. Participants share poetry and talk about their experiences. Anyone is welcome to attend the meetings, and identities are kept confidential. The organization meets every Monday afternoon at 5:15 at the Student Health Center in room 202. Through greater awareness and understanding, the group hopes to prevent sexual assault.
Texas State strives to empower diversity every day. Bobcat Update's Esmeralda Zamora has the story on student-led campaign that has discovered a new aspect of diversity on campus.
A group of public relations students came together to create a campaign called For You Texas State. The campaign focuses on creating a safe space to erase taboos associated with menstruation.
Our organization is basically about raising awareness for menstrual health and hygiene. Our end goals are basically to educate our fellow Texas State Bobcats, and we're hoping that with the education that we provide them about menstrual health and the do's and don'ts and what's true and false, we hope that they take this information and that it's kind of like a catalyst in spreading that information and raising awareness and changing the conversation around who has a period. So we're hoping it's kind of like a domino effect.
According to the For You team, there are only 6 buildings on campus that provide feminine products to students. For You's goal is making sure that such products are available in every building in female and gender-neutral restrooms.
Yeah, we just kind of wanted to get menstrual health awareness and inclusivity, like the conversation rolling, and make sure that Texas State is a trailblazer in that on campus. There's accessibility to products and to everybody, and it's not just like a mainstream women bathroom that carries it. We're really wanting to make sure that, like I said, anybody like with a uterus has access to free products in every building. Meaning let's take the products out of solely just the women's bathroom and making it more inclusive.
To gain more awareness, education, and inclusivity on menstrual health and hygiene, follow the campaign at For You TXST on all of their platforms. You can also catch them out here on the quad at the next quad day to sign their petition. For Bobcat Update, I'm Esmeralda Zamora.
Texas State and the San Marcos Independent School District are working together on a new teacher residency program, which allows student teachers to be in the classrooms year-round. Bobcat Update's Drew McLaren has the story.
Heading into the 2021-22 school year, Texas State's College of Education and San Marcos CISD announced a new teacher residency partnership with De Zavala and Crockett Elementary Schools. Starting last August, student teachers were on campus once a week for a full school day, and then transitioned this past January to being in the classroom Monday through Friday.
I have seen the impact where I am with my student teacher now. We're very comfortable with each other, and I feel very confident in her, and I trust her that I can hand my class over to her.
Being in the classroom for a semester prior to their residency gave student teachers the opportunity to foster relationships with their students and build a rapport with the teachers guiding them.
I think the best thing about this program is it allows the Texas State students to come in and really just observe. What I love about it is it's a full day. They're seeing, okay, what does the schedule look like? What does the flow look like?
San Marcos CISD has also benefited Texas State's teacher residency program. In February, the district announced Texas State student teachers will receive substitute pay of $105 per day for the remainder of the time they are in their placement classrooms.
I've actually heard specifically from student teachers in this program that now them being compensated for this, they are able to just focus on the teaching part and not have to work a second job like on the weekend. And it's made a huge impact in their lives.
In most teacher residency programs, student teachers have to work weekend hours or quit their jobs to be able to participate. With the help of San Marcos CISD, Texas State student teachers can provide for themselves while also providing for their careers. For Bobcat Update, I'm Jude McLaren.
Texas State now has an exhibit featuring Bill Hudson's art. Hudson is a San Marcos native. He grew up in the Dunbar neighborhood. Hudson is known for his innovative and abstract creations, and his art has been exhibited in galleries worldwide. Now it can be seen in his hometown. From now until May 18th, the art of Bill Hudson will be shown at the Texas State Galleries in the Mitty building.
Call in all songwriters. The historic Cheatham Street Warehouse Songwriters Circle wants to hear your songs. Bobcat Update's Joseph Esquivel reports.
The Cheatham Street Warehouse Songwriters Circle provides songwriters with an opportunity to perform songs as well as hear the work of others. The circle was started in 1974 by San Marcos legend Kent Finley. Current host Missoula Slim remembers those times.
They all used to circle up, unplugged, with their guitars around an old wood stove that was right back in that corner over there.
Performers are given a 10-minute slot to play any original material. After their slot, all performers are encouraged to stay and listen to other musicians. According to Slim, listening has always been the most important part.
Kent always said, you always know what you have to say. And the question is, why don't we sit around and listen to each other? Maybe we'll learn something.
Regular circle attendee Joe Gray also believes in the power of listening.
The songs that I wrote, 3 years ago are exponentially worse than the ones that I write now. And I don't think it's just because time has passed. I think it is because of this place.
Slim claims the circle fosters a unique learning experience for aspiring songwriters.
You can't teach this stuff. You got to listen to it. It has to penetrate your soul and then bubble up later. And that's what makes you original. That's what makes an original artist completely original.
The Songwriters Circle is held every Wednesday night at the Cheatham Street Warehouse, located at 119 Cheatham Street. Sign-ups start at 8 p.m. with performances starting at 9. For Bobcat Update, I'm Joseph Esquivel.
Harper's Public House is the San Marcos bar with historical significance. It's located on the downtown square in one of the city's oldest buildings. The structure where patrons can now belly up to the bar dates back to 1873. Over the years, it has been a stable and a blacksmith shop under various owners. Harper's at 139 East Hopkins Street has been a triple-decker bar since 2009.
The Go Wheels Up Festival will return to San Marcos later this year. Country music artist Corey Morrow helps organize the event, which includes air and car shows as well as a concert. Several performers, including Morrow, are scheduled to be on stage. Food trucks and other vendors will be scattered across the festival grounds at the San Marcos Regional Airport. The festival takes place Labor Day weekend, but you can go online and buy your tickets now.
Free tours are being offered at the San Marcos Airport for those who are interested in history. The Central Texas Wing Hangar houses 6 commemorative aircraft from the World War II era. The 6 planes have been restored and maintained over the years. Tours occur 4 days a week at 1841 Airport Drive, northeast of downtown.
The city of San Marcos has added some new signs on the square. Bobcat Updates Savannah Hartman tells us what the signs mean.
While strolling through downtown San Marcos, you may have noticed something new hanging next to the street banners. They are called pedestrian wayfinding signs. The reason they are there is to help navigate downtown.
They're visually appealing, right? They're vibrant, they're colorful, they're pretty to look at. It gives your eyes something else that is interesting when you're walking around downtown, which I think is beneficial. Like overall, it just adds to the appeal.
Valletta says the new signs can be beneficial to anyone trying to get more information about the city.
And there is a QR code on the sign that links directly to our visitor website for downtown. And on that website, we have listings for every single business. We have events that we curate, not only that we're hosting, but that anyone is hosting. So if you go to our website and look up things to do, you'll see all of the events that are happening, all the live music, all of like the features that the businesses are offering. So it really does a great job of promoting our local businesses.
The city of San Marcos has installed 30 of the new signs. They lead to helpful tips on what to do, see, and drink in downtown. For Bobcat Update, I'm Savannah Hartman.
We'll pause now, and when we come back, we have stories about Earth Day as well as an environmental group on campus.
And we'll wrap up this newscast with some tips to prepare for finals. You're watching Bobcat Update.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. All right, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight. Both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand trying to text somebody back. Because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
Earth Day is tomorrow, a worldwide observance to call attention to environmental concerns. Texas State encourages students to do their part to protect the environment. Signs are placed around campus to remind students not to litter, especially not to use glitter when they have their graduation photos taken. The plastics used for some glitters are harmful to the environment. Safe alternatives are available for the pictures students want. They can use flower petals and leaves to add to their pictures, or they can add some pizzazz with Photoshop. The point is, don't use glitter to avoid litter.
If you're looking for a new way to make new friends and clean up your community, Texas State's Environmental Conservation Organization is looking for new members. The Eco Club presents students with an opportunity to connect with nature while giving back. The organization conducts various events throughout the year, ranging from cleanups to campaign trips. Students interested in joining the Environmental Conservation Organization can check out the group on Instagram or visit their booth at the Spring Lake Earth Day Festival this Saturday.
Since Sunday, San Marcos has entered Stage 2 of drought restrictions. Stage 2 drought comes with restrictions for drip irrigation, soaker hoses, and decorative water structures. It's recommended that you use sprinklers and water hoses and do at-home car washes only once a week.
The San Marcos Lions Club tube rental will reopen soon. Tubing is popular on the San Marcos River, and the Lions Club provides a shuttle service for those who want to float the river. Those who float can rent tubes at the City Park Rec Hall just off Charles Austin Drive. Tubers float for about 45 minutes and get off at Chatham Street, where they can catch a shuttle back to the starting point. The Lions Club says rentals and shuttle rides will resume on May 7th.
Farmer Fred's has a spring carnival every year in San Marcos for people of all ages. The free event features balloons, game booths, photo ops, and food trucks. An Easter egg hunt with more than 18,000 eggs was the main attraction at the carnival. If you missed out on the spring gathering, look for the one in October. A fall carnival is planned. It all takes place at City Park off Charles Austin Drive.
For many students, biking is a cost-effective method of transportation and exercise. The Texas State Bike Cave offers used bikes and parts for sale in addition to repair services. The Bike Cave is located on campus at 207 Pleasant Street. The Bike Cave's tools and workspaces are also available free of charge for students who prefer to fix their bike themselves.
Texas State's track and field team had an impressive meet over the weekend at the Charles Austin Classic. Bobcat Update's Ty Henderson has more.
After a week off of competition, the track and field team had its final home meet of the season. Next up for the Bobcats will be the conference championships.
We're trying to get ready for conference championships coming up in a few weeks. This is a low-key home meet. Our coaches were still training hard. We have a plan.
For some athletes, the final meet was useful for getting back into shape following injuries that occurred earlier in the season.
Before the competition, you need to warm up, especially your upper body, your shoulder, your elbow, because you can injure yourself really easily if you're not warm. But today at the competition, as I'm coming from an injury, I'm doing only the javelin throw and the 800 meters.
Texas State's 4x100 meter men's and women's relay teams set school records, leading team members to have high hopes for the future.
We've already signed some good recruits. We have people lined up we're still trying to close the deal on, and the goal is for us to get to a higher level on the national scene. But again, there's more work that we need to do.
The Sun Belt Championship will take place May 12th through May 14th in Lafayette, Louisiana.
From the Charles Austin Classic, I'm Ty Henderson with Bobcat Update.
Texas State's volleyball team wraps up its spring season this week on a high note. For 2 years, the volleyball team was not able to participate in the spring season due to COVID-19. However, this year the team bounced back and enjoyed some success. The season included a home tournament as well as 2 scrimmages against the University of Texas and UTSA. This coming fall, the team will be going for its 4th Sun Belt Championship in the past 5 years.
With the semester coming to a close, students are preparing for finals week. For some, it's the most stressful week of the semester. Bobcat Update's Ashton Yost has some tips for dealing with the stress.
Finals represent the end of an entire semester of work. Whether the goal is to maintain good grades or just pass the class, it's time to prepare.
Some studying strategies I use are typically Quizlet. For my language-based classes, I'll use note cards because it's easier if you write it out, helps you memorize.
Studying strategies that work best for me have really been, making flashcards, trying to use applications like Quizlet because they're so awesome,
Studying strategies that work best for me are probably putting my phone away because I always get distracted with that. Playing some music in the background from YouTube, normally hip hop music, but without the lyrics, just the instrumental because I get distracted with the lyrics.
Stress and anxiety often go hand in hand with any test, but final exams can make things even worse. Everyone handles it differently, but there are ways to manage the situation.
Well, to prevent the stress, I'll take little breaks in between, or I'll motivate myself by giving myself little treats after I get through one chapter or something.
I'm probably not the best dealing with stress, but I'd say the best things I can do to deal with it is perhaps take my dog on a walk, go for a run, really just get my brain out of that study zone.
Well, while I'm studying, if I start getting stressed, I take a break, maybe go hang out with some friends, just probably a little short break, go outside, play basketball, just get my mind off of work and just mental rest, I guess you could say.
Finals start on May 4th and the semester wraps up on May 11th. For Bobcat Update, I'm Ashton Yost.
It's probably a good idea to start planning how you're going to study. Bobcat Update's Alana Anthony has been exploring where you might go.
There are many quiet places in San Marcos that are perfect for studying. For example, the Coffee Bar. The Coffee Bar is located on the square, which makes it convenient for students as it's just a short walk from campus.
It tends to be pretty quiet unless people are chatting, but it's nothing insane. I don't think it echoes really, and the lighting is always beautiful. So even in midterm and in finals, and even as a daily basis, between 10 a.m. and maybe 4 or 5, we're continuously packed for most days with people studying, doing homework, and all kinds of stuff.
The university campus also has good places to study. Popular among students is the 5th floor of Alkek.
Because it's a quiet floor, there's usually not that many people, and if you're on the quiet floors, only the people who are studying are usually going to be there. It's not going to be the people who just want to talk and kind of play around, so you can focus better.
Finals week is set to begin May 4th, so make sure you find your favorite study spot around town. For Bobcat Update, I'm Alana Anthony.
Hey Ryan, where do you go study?
I like to go to some coffee shops around town.
Maybe I should try that out sometime.
Maybe.
Good luck with your finals and finishing your classes. This is our last Bobcat Update this semester. I'm Abby Ray De La Rosa.
Look for us to be broadcasting next fall in our new studio in Live Oak Hall. I'm Ryan Ligas. Stay well and enjoy the summer break.